Digital SLR cameras are no longer just for the professionals. With prices down considerably from just a year or two ago, more people are taking the plunge.
And if you have or are considering one yourself, our Gadget Guy Steve Van Dinter is here with some picture-perfect suggestions on how you can get creative with it. Hi, Steve.
That's right, Mark.
He's having fun
He's been
with
getting
it.
creative this whole commercial break. And, you know, there's just so much you can do with these DSLRs now that they've got. That one a little scary that he just talked. But, you know, especially when you take one of these cameras and you pair it up with today's gadgets, you can really do some creative stuff. I've got two in here today. There's two types of lenses, one called the composer lens, one called the fisheye optic. They're by Lens Baby, and really you just pop them on. You take off your original lens that came with your digital camera. You pop these on. This one's kind of a funny one, as you can see here. This even rolls around here just like that.
Which one is that? The fisheye?
That's the composer lens with the double glass optic. And actually, I can show you some of the pictures that you can take with it. We've got some video if you want to look at this here. This lets you actually take a small part you see of a picture and keep that in focus, and then it lets the rest of it kind of blur out. And so there's some grasses and some different things. And you can do a lot of cool different things with it. You find your sweet spot, though, and then obviously everything else gets blurred out from there. So if you want to get creative with it, that's about as creative as I got with the mailboxes with the street in the background. But you just pivot the lens then. So you get it straight on, you focus it in, and then you pivot the lens, and that keeps it in focus, and you go from there. So that one's pretty cool. The other one, the fisheye optic, we've got some video of that as well. I'll show you some of those pictures. This one actually was my favorite. So you can see it's harder on the wider shots to see the fisheye effect, but I've got some closer ones. I really like this picture.
That's a good shot.
I'm within like an inch of that sign and getting that entire area, and there's kind of the doorknob to my house. I told you, you know.
That's scintillating.
But you can take an entire,
so
there's my bathroom. You can literally stand in a corner of a room and get the entire shot in there, and you're not going to do that with a traditional digital camera. There's a clock there as well. So lots of neat things that you can do if you are creative. Like I said, I'm not a professional photographer by any means, but I had some fun with it. I got to run around and play with it, and even took a couple up here today as you guys were doing the segments earlier. But you can see here, you can get a lot more of the studio in as you use that fisheye optic there.
Hey, it'd be good for like real estate if you wanted to.
Oh, definitely. Yep. So get in the corner of a room and take those pictures. And yeah, like I stood right here before by the picture, and I got the entire studio in there.
That's great.
Now, are there computer programs that can do this, Photoshop or something?
You can do some of it with Photoshop. I bet some of the photographers out there, people who really get into this, would prefer doing it this way because you do have a little bit more control. Like I said, with this one, find the sweet spot, go ahead and focus it in, and twist the camera lens. Even the fisheye, you can do some of that stuff digitally.
So how do you rate the Lens Baby?
I like the Lens Baby. I gave them a 4 out of 5 possible bars of reception. What I really liked about it was it is pretty simple to use as long as you've got some sort of photography skills. Simply pop up your lens, snap these into place, set your camera to aperture priority mode, and then you're ready to go. I also really like the creative possibilities these lenses brought, especially if you're to make custom prints for your home. Think of how much you could save taking some cool pictures. What I wasn't as impressed with was how some of my photos actually turned out, especially at first. You do need to have
the doorknob?
Yeah. Come on, I like the doorknob. You do have to have a bit more than a point-and-shoot mentality, and you got to think a little bit before you snap. But once I got the hang of it, they were fun to use. The composer lens itself costs $270, so a bit pricey. Includes the double glass optic altogether. The fisheye then optic costs an additional $150, and you can find them locally at the camera company or at lensbaby.com.
We have to get this out of your hands. You're taking
he's
taking extreme close-ups and really scary pictures.
But you do need the SLR, which is...
You do need the SLR, and that's
$400
between
minimum.
$400 all the way up to a couple $1,000s.
Right.
But even the lower-end ones, this one wasn't that expensive. The lower-end ones will do just the trick as well. And like I said, you pop off the original lens, pop these on, and you're good to go. It's hours, days, years of excitement.
Oh, things you didn't even know you had to have.
That's right.
All right, that's the gadget.
Thanks, Steve.
All right, thanks, Steve.
Thank you, guys.